Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is for you, I'm Cyclone. Welcome to more Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. Today we're doing crosstown traffic. Driver stopping passenger service from Luton to St. Pancras Thameslink on a warm October's afternoon. I always question the use of an apostrophe S there, but, you know, I have different English than the English, apparently. The timetable is tight in places, so you'll need to be on your toes. Yes, we will. And like I suggested last time in the closing, the next two scenarios are 25-minute scenarios. We're going to do those as part of the same run of scenarios. We're going to do 5 at once here. So I am trying to get a lot of these done so I can start moving to the 66 and then to the custom content on this route. I do need to look at more of the Midland Main Line as well on the Just Trains version of the route, which is different than this one. The entire network is different than this one. This is not part of the network, nor is the Bedford to Derby, which I don't think we're ever going to see because First Capital Connect no longer offers the license. So who knows? But in any case, unless Just Trains does the Bedford to Derby, I doubt we're going to officially see it. That said, I think the Birmingham 2010 route does cover part of that because the route does join and then continues to Derby. So it might actually cover most of that route already. I don't know if Bedford is on that route, but I do know that I saw a connection that looks familiar to that route. I have to do some more research on that to see exactly where it joins. But nonetheless, we are going to do crosstown traffic right now. This is on the Bedford to London St. Pancras section, starting at Luton today. Let's go. Good afternoon, driver. You're running a stopping service to Sutton. However, this afternoon your duties will end at St. Pancras Thameslink. Before departing, let the passengers on board. Yeah, it's been a long week. I gotta get my... They don't want to give me overtime pay, you know? They're trying to avoid overpaying an employee because corporate thing. Anyway, let's let passengers on board. Let's get ourselves on the way here. We're going to go ahead and pull the brake down to a step 1 for ease of departure. You can see what looks like a train up ahead. If I zoom in, however, you're going to notice that it vanishes, but it is up there. We're going to see it pop back into view in just a moment to go by. So I'm going to zoom back out. You're going to see it again pop in there. That is a train coming at us. No, you know what? It's just a graphic. It's a graphical thing. There's a train coming around the corner right now. Yeah, we'll get it figured out. Now, while passengers are on board, proceed to St. Pancras Thameslink, calling at scheduled stops en route. So there is the train coming at us. We're going to get ourselves on the move. That is a Class 66 freight service. I should probably put the reverser into a forward position, shouldn't I? So that graphical thing is still there. I don't know what it is. Either way, we are at our 20-mile-per-hour speed limit. Whatever that graphical thing that looks like a train is in the distance is probably going to vanish as we get closer to it. I'm keeping an eye on it. Yeah, there it goes. It's gone. I don't know what it was. We're entering a 70-mile-per-hour section, so leaving Luton, our first stop is Luton Airport Parkway. Stopping at platform number 1, as we are on the slow tracks. This stop is not incredibly tight, but we're not going to get anywhere near our speed limit, so it's going to seem a little tighter. There goes another of our trains over there on the right on the fast lane. Another 319. I got up to 50 and I'm going to take the throttle off now because we do need to hit the brakes to slow down for Luton Airport Parkway. Going to put a step 2 brake on. In fact, I might need a full service brake right now. Back to a step 1 for a moment. I'm going to go ahead and stop now as we are at the moment we need to stop. And this is arrival at Luton Airport Parkway, platform 1. Leaving Luton Airport Parkway, our next stop is Harpenden. We are not due for 4.5 minutes. That gives us a lot of opportunity to get our speed in position, or 4 minutes, I should say. We're not due for 4 minutes, so we have a lot of opportunity to gain some speed here. Nice sunny afternoon in the game, and I'm probably going to have the sun coming in the window in the room I'm in very shortly as well, so it's going to be fitting atmosphere right here. Not autumn here, but nonetheless a fitting atmosphere. Actually, it is coming up to autumn. Yeah, we are in September. Actually, it is the start of autumn. What do I mean not autumn? Autumn just started. Yeah, so the... we're a month early, but it fits the atmosphere perfectly. A sunny autumn day. E5 is our speed limit. We're going to go ahead and hit that any moment here. Or specifically the moment where we cross from 84.9 to 85, that's when we're going to hit it. So here's that magical moment right now. There it is. Music to the ears, is it not? Or to the eyes? You decide. There is a 75 up ahead, so I will concern myself with that momentarily. For right now, we cruise. And 85 continues after that. And shortly beyond that, we're going to have the platform by about a mile, I believe. No, not anywhere close to a mile. What am I saying? I knew that was wrong. I just didn't want to correct myself. There is a 90 beyond the platform, however. That is accurate because we were traveling at that speed up to St. Albans. There'll be a slowdown at St. Albans, I'm pretty sure, as well. So throttle has been zeroed. We need to be down at 75 to start slowing down anyway, so the 85 doesn't matter for us at all today. I'm just going to keep the level 1 brake going because we are well on time right now. I should say step 1 brake. Have a whole minute to make our stop. Now we're going to need a step 2 brake for a moment. The step 1 brake is back in effect. We want to get the entire train in the platform if we can, so I'm trying to do this very carefully. Another step 2 brake just to slow us down a bit for the signal. In fact, I need a full service brake to stop. Look at that. Arrival at Harpenden, platform number 1, right on the edge of the platform. Perfect. Leaving Harpenden, our next stop logically is St. Albans City, stopping today at platform 1. We are approaching our 90-mile-per-hour speed limit that we are now in. But we do have another 4 miles to go to St. Albans City, and the stop time is not very favorable. Or did I take that back? 14:58 is very favorable. Never mind. We have a good stop time. Gotta learn how to read a little better on this lower screen on my eyesight, you know what I mean? 15:03 for Radlett, 15:07 for Elstree and Borehamwood, and 15:11 for Mill Hill Broadway, and of course 15:15 for Hendon below that. And then we're halfway through the remainder of our journey. So 4 minutes for each part of the journey in the near future. We're now 3 miles from our next stop, going 80 miles per hour. I've zeroed the throttle as we are approaching the 80-mile-per-hour section around St. Albans. You can see the 65 coming in as well, which I believe is our platform limit. Platform's right there, so yes, it is the platform limit. Of course, if we're going 65 by that sign, we've got a different problem. It's called not stopping. By the time we reach that sign, we shouldn't be going above 50 miles per hour, I think. Somewhere from 50 to 55. So we're going to need to slow down for that sign well in advance, because we know that. A little early, but I did get down to 55. I'm now hitting 50 around the time I pass that sign, which is fine. I'm a little slow for the section I'm in right now, so I'm just going to keep a step 1 brake applied, as I will catch up, and indeed I have caught up. Now I'm going slightly fast. So I'm going to use a step 2 brake at this time. I didn't even need the full service brake. That was pretty good. Arrival at St. Albans City, platform number 1. We're now a third of the way into our journey, leaving St. Albans City. Our next stop is Radlett. Our speed limit by the time we get up to any kind of limit will be 80 miles per hour. We're going to have actually a 90 before we even reach 80. So yeah, we're going to be taking our time getting up to our speed limits by the time the signs pass us. Oh, we're losing the race. Shame. Well, nothing we can do about that. That's going 100 miles per hour on the fast track. We're still getting up to 90. So we're going to be losing that race. Yeah, that's pretty much going to be gone up ahead. We're just going to zoom in for a little while here to watch that train ahead of us. We're up to 89. We seem to be holding pace with it roughly now, but I'm pretty sure it's still going about 100. And it's going around the curve ahead of us right now. We're going to see it as we come around the curve. But I'm pretty sure it is not stopping at Radlett, so we are going to lose sight of it completely when we stop at Radlett. There goes the aggregate sidings. I think you can still barely see the train up ahead. Yeah, I still see it up there. The label doesn't work, but it's up there. I need to start slowing down, so I'm going to do that. And let's assume that train is gone. I'm going to need a full service brake here. Coming in a little fast. Another train coming by. Look at that. Yeah, he's not stopping here. I don't see him. Let me go a little bit further because I'm not quite in the green yet. I will deal with that. And now I am fully in the green, so step 2 brake will do the job to bring me to a stop on time at Radlett, platform number 1. You can see the distant signal indicator up ahead for the next signal. Indicates one red, one green, or yellow, one or the other. The reason for that is because there's probably a junction indicator on there. That is the one that is turned off. We have a green on our signal, most likely. Leaving Radlett, our next stop is Elstree and Borehamwood. This stop might be a little tight. We have a little over 2 miles to go, but we only have a little over 2 minutes to make the stop. We're going to have to get our speed as close to 90 as we can. We're not going to get there in the 2 miles we have, I don't believe. So we're going to have to just take advantage. And sorry for the little creak in the chair. I have a bit of a rocking chair I'm in right now, office chair type. Not my usual chair. But we're going to have to just take advantage of what speed we can for right now. Yeah, this chair needs oil. Just let's give it another little movement here. Yep, that needs oil. Moving my screen slightly now to try and improve my readability here. Getting up to 78, 79 miles per hour. We do have enough to pull off from an 80 mile per hour limit a very quick stop. That should keep us in time. I'm going to risk going to 4/10 of a mile away while still in the 80s. I don't like doing this, but I'm going to do it. Now we're going to put on a step 1 and eventually a step 2 brake. In fact, I'll do the step 2 brake now. We're being given a notification of the 75 up ahead. I'm going to use a full service brake. I'm going to have to leave this full service brake applied. Ooh, I might have just found the trick, guys. Pull to a step 1 brake for a moment. This is a stop literally right on time. Look at this. 1 second at Elstree and Borehamwood, platform 1. And there's a train going by, which we're going to just go ahead and watch here. That is another class 66. You can see its freight going by. As you can see, the timing of that train going by did not allow me to get back to the cab before I was ready to depart. So leaving Elstree and Borehamwood, we don't get the point notification there, but trust me, I did get the points. Our next stop is Mill Hill Broadway. Stopping at platform 1. Entering a 75-mile-per-hour area of track. We're working on another 3-mile stretch of track here to Mill Hill Broadway. We have to arrive by 15:11:30, which gives us 3 minutes. That should be plenty of time. Entering a 90-mile-per-hour stretch. You can see the station coming up ahead. That means we have plenty of time to stop. We have a little over 2 minutes. Having just found the trick in the last stop, I think we're going to test it again. I'm going to turn off the throttle right here. Gonna take the brakes off. I think I came in a little slowly there, but I do want to put the brakes on quickly again. We have lots of time for our stop, so I don't mind putting a stronger brake on earlier on this platform. Gonna let the train coast in for now. This will allow me to make my stop right where I want to at Mill Hill Broadway. Stopping for passengers at platform number 1. Leaving Mill Hill Broadway. Our next stop and the 2/3 marker in our journey is Hendon. And as I kind of suggested earlier, the room where I am right now is indeed starting to get a little sunnier. I can see the shine of the sun on my screen. It won't be long before it's in my eyes from the window. So I have a bit of a limit on when to get this done now, just because of that. I don't want that in my eyes while I'm trying to play. Still a little ways away. So we have a 60-mile-per-hour speed limit up ahead. I did not go up to a P4 throttle. This is my fault. So I'm not really going to get a lot of speed beyond the 60 at this point because I didn't take advantage of it. Oh, that's going to stink for my timing, isn't it? You bet it is. I probably would have stopped at 70 anyway, so it's not a big deal. I'm definitely holding this 65 for a little while here. Now we are going to have a downhill segment here, so we have to watch ourselves on this stretch. That's why I've not increased the speed back to 60 right now, because I know we're going to have an increase on this downhill. It is a 1 in 90 gradient that you can see on the screen right now. Some kind of train is apparently passing us. I don't see it. That or there was a working vehicle over there. There's the train passing right now. So it must have been a working backhoe or something I didn't see. Moving to a full service brake and pull it back to a step 2. Back to a step 1. And now that I'm entering the platform, I'm going to reapply step 2. We have about 20 seconds to make our stop. And I'm going to be pushing this because I'm not fully in the platform yet. That is my fault. We barely fit in the platform on this one. My goodness. That's a tight platform. We arrive at Hendon, platform number 1 for our 8th stop. Apparently, I was positioned beyond the end of the usable part of the platform because my train moved immediately there while the doors were closing. Anyway, leaving Hendon, our next stop is Cricklewood. Then we'll be back in the range of the North London Line segment that you can see on that particular route. As it also has access to St. Pancras. I don't know yet if any scenarios will use St. Pancras, but it has access to it. I'm pretty sure it might not have access to the Thameslink section of the route, though. Maybe it does, I don't know. So we have a 75 up ahead. I don't care. We have to be at our stop right after that sign. As for our stop, this is going to be one of those ones where we're pushing it. I didn't go up to a P4 throttle, unfortunately, so I'm at the very start, so I'm really going to be pushing this stop. Is that a speed warning or a signal warning? That is a speed warning for our 75, which we're still not at. There's a train over on the left. Looks like 2 trains. That might be a siding that we're seeing over there. All sorts of stuff over there. Putting a full service brake on because I'm coming in way too fast now. Stop it right there. I don't want to be past the edge of the platform again. Alright, that should be on time at Cricklewood, platform number 1. You know, you don't know how dirty your computer screen is until the sun shines on it and shows you all the dirt close up. Very disorienting sight. Anyway, leaving Cricklewood, our next stop is West Hempstead Thameslink, platform number 1. I'm now making a note that I have to clean my computer screen after this scenario. Kind of thing I usually don't get to see at home because I only have a tiny window that the sun occasionally peeps in through, and that's it. I'm often not recording scenarios at that hour. West Hempstead Thameslink is very close. We're within a mile. This is the final stop we're going to be taking at line speed. Or at an average normal line speed, I should say. We have a full minute to make our stop, but we only have a half mile to go. We're coming in at 60 miles per hour. So yeah, I'd say we have a good chance to make this one on time. Especially if I do a step 2 brake right now. There's a train that just went by in the other lane to the right. I thought I saw some kind of movement. I wonder what it was. That was a train. This is a long enough platform to accommodate a 12-car train, I believe, so I'm going to go ahead and just coast a little bit further on the platform. I can afford the time on this stop, just a little bit of time. But we're going to go ahead and bring the train to a full stop right now using a full brake. And we arrive at West Hempstead Thameslink platform number 1. Leaving West Hempstead Thameslink. Try that again. Leaving West Hempstead Thameslink. Our next stop is Kentish Town. We know we're going to have to slow down to 30 miles per hour by Kentish Town, so I'm going to use as much time at a P4 throttle as I can to get as much speed as I can, and then we're going to have to cut that off before we get into the 30. There'll also be a 50 before that, I believe, if I remember my last 2 journeys correctly. But I don't think we're going to have to take the 25 junction track on this one because we're already on the track we need to be on. That's for crossing over from the high speed lines. So there is the aforementioned 50 up ahead. I'm currently going 57, so I will need to hit the brakes. I'm up to 67. I'm going to try to hit 70 miles per hour, then I'm going to go ahead and bring the speed down. And that will do. Taking the brakes off. We're going to slow down again for the 30 up ahead, but I'm not in any immediate hurry to do so. We're on a 1 in 131 downhill gradient. I'm not gaining speed on that, miraculously. And I'm going to go, well, I think I just started to do so, but I'm going to put the brakes back on now. We're going to respond to that. That manner of heart attack. I will need a step 2 brake for this, so I'm going to put one on. Now step 1 should hopefully do it. In fact, it should, so I'm going to take it off again for a moment. And now I will reapply it. back off. Because I realize very slowly I am going to make that. And now I'm down with enough time to spare. Kentish Town is right there, platform number 1. That is our penultimate stop on our part of the journey. Putting a temporary full service brake on just to get my speed down. And I have 10 seconds to make my stop. I am not far enough on the platform for this. So I'm going to just very laterally inch forward here. And then I will put the full service brake on once again to complete my stop. There we go. Arrival at Kentish Town, platform 1. Leaving Kentish Town, our penultimate stop. We're on our way to St. Pancras Thameslink, which you can see is 1.3 miles from our present location. Or slightly more than that, I guess. Our speed limit is 30 miles per hour. That will not be changing. All we have to do now is watch the gradients and make sure we don't speed on the gradients. That is our only objective now. I'm going to go at 29 miles per hour for right now. And before we hit this major downhill section, 1 in 38, I think it's time to address the passengers. Ding dong! Attention all passengers, we are approaching St. Pancras Thameslink, known as the gateway to London, or at least I'm going to call it that because I feel like it. Note that I will be getting off at this stop and someone else will be joining you. Coincidentally, this driver's name happens to be Johnny, which means I get to utter those famous words. Here's Johnny. You can grade me on my dramaticness of that at a later time. We're about to take the 1 in 38 downhill gradient, and I'm going to try not to push the red button in panic as I do so. So please stand by. We will be at St. Pancras Thameslink in about 2 minutes. Knowing again, even though it's probably not realistic, you can use the P1 throttle with the step 1 brake. Whether you can do this in the real train, I do not know, and I do not care right now. All I care is that we're going to make our stop. It's not a very heavy brake, actually. I thought it was heavier than that. So we're going to see the buffer beyond that third signal after the station. Not realistic, I know. There's track beyond there. But we're just going to see a buffer. So I'm going to start slowing down a little bit more. It has not zoomed in yet. This is disappointing. I'm taking a risk to keep the real... Ah, darn, the buffer's there. Okay, never mind. Realism has been completely taken away now. There's the zoom in I wanted. We're going to pull up for our last stop at St. Pancras Thameslink right now. I'm going to keep it at 20 until the train is fully in. Then I'm just going to do the full service brake and bring this thing to a stop. Never mind, I'm going to use step 1 brake. And this is the time we need to make our stop, so I'm going to go ahead and make our stop. The HUD is a little incorrect on where that green indicator is, by the way. So, arrival at St. Pancras Thameslink Platform A. Let's look at our train as we finish the service. Another fantastic stop at St. Pancras Thameslink Platform A, and we are going to let our of passengers thereof leave the train. No one's leaving the train here. I thought people were going to leave when I told them Johnny was taking over. I guess not. In any case, that is the end of our part of the service. The service is going to continue to Surrey and Sutton without us because we cannot travel on that track. We can do that on a different route, but not on this route. And yes, that route does exist as a freeware route at this time, so that may change in the future, may become payware, who knows. But good driving so far. Before we depart for Sutton, let's see how you did. Yes, let's, shall we? As we see someone walking on the right side of the screen behind the train there, we're going to go ahead and go to the scoring screen. Nice to know the siren sounds from St. Pancras have carried over into the menu, isn't it? That's very nice to hear there. Anyway, that is a perfect score. Nothing to discuss there. So we're going to get ready for the next two scenarios next time, which are going to be number 4 and number 5 on Friday and Saturday. Friday, the day I'm going to be going to a hockey game. Saturday, the day I'm probably going to be lying in bed wishing I didn't waste a week at my mother's house. That's what's going to happen. You know, I'm going to wish I had more control over what I was doing there. But, you know, in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and enjoy these this route because, you know what, people have made a comment. I'm going to be completely honest with what I've heard people say in Discord and elsewhere. There are people who look at this route and say, it's garbage route, don't bother with it. It's not the same developers, it's not good. But if you're not from London, it's actually not that bad. Because it's actually, it may be older, it may be like 2013 era, so it is older graphics. But it runs very well on the on older systems, which means it's actually a very good route for anyone to pick up and play. And there is a good amount of stopping passenger traffic on the route. You can run freight trains on the route. So there is some variety of things you can do. Pick up some Armstrong Powerhouse trains and play some more realistic scenarios on the route using stock that runs on the route today. It is possible to do this. So I don't see any issue with getting this route, giving this a try. This definitely gets an approval from me because I've had no problems using it. So definitely give this a try, and it is not the same developers as the rest of the Midland Main Line, starting from Derby and Nottingham and Lincoln and all the way to Manchester, Sheffield. So yeah, it's not the same developer as all that. Maybe someone will connect it one day, maybe not. I don't know, not my business. I'm not going to worry about it. And we will get to the rest of that Midland Main Line as well. I do have to do more of the Sheffield to Derby route, and I do need to get some Matlock as well. So at some point I will install Matlock and I will single out those scenarios so I can pick out a couple of those scenarios to play as well. But for right now, we're just going to enjoy what we see along the way here. We're going to do scenarios number 4 and 5 as our next two videos because I want to get those 319 scenarios completed, move on to use a 319 in other routes, and also use the Armstrong Powerhouse version of that train, which is really the main reason I want to get this train introduced now. And what better way than the route it was released with, rather than using it as a separate DLC. The separate DLC does exist for the London to Brighton route, but I want to introduce it on Midland Main Line because that's the one that comes, like we have to use it on that route anyway when we explore it, so why not, right? We can use the other one afterwards. And we're going to eventually move to the Armstrong Powerhouse one as well. So I definitely have plans to look at all the different versions of the train. Unfortunately, I don't have the 319 sound pack from back in the day, so we're not going to get to see those reskins. I'll have to do some substitutions instead and use what I can here. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed what we have seen here so far. I hope you enjoyed what is to come. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, of course. It is free. And I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, or night, whatever it is for your part of the world. I'll see you next time for a couple 25-minute scenarios here on the Midland Main Line London to Bedford route. I'm going to go ahead and record those probably tomorrow as I'm doing this right now because I have to publish the other videos, which I'm already very late on. So we'll do that. I'll do that, and I'll have that ready for you in a moment. But, or a few days ago is a moment, basically. So I hope you enjoy them. I'm Cyclone. See you next time for the next scenario. Bye-bye.